know, when my mum and dad bought me this Atlas, price 2 and 6, that's 12.5p to you, back in the 60s, I never realised I'd be using it so much this year and over the last 12 months period. But I genuinely have. That's been around the world with me over the last 4 months, because for the last 130 days I've been travelling the globe, attending motor shows, car launches, car races, interviewing some of the best known people in the car industry, from North America to South America, from Korea to Japan, Africa, out to Mongolia. Oh, where else was there? There was China, there was mainland Europe, obviously. You name it, I travelled there. Usually with a crew, usually with a cameraman, but very occasionally, come to think of it, quite often, on my own with this, my humble digital camera. Yeah, it's almost idiot proof, it must be, because I used it over at least 100 of those 130 days when I was on the road outside Britain over the last 12 months. And join me in my little journey to see some of the footage I've picked up along the way. Well, you might think this is a purpose-built greenfield site in the middle of nowhere. In fact, it's at the heart of Munich Airport in Germany. And what's going on here? Well, it's BMW teaching people to drive properly as they're hanging around for their planes. It's quite simple. You've got a connection to make, you've got a couple of hours to kill, you go off and play with some BMWs. Once you've done that, once you've got the flavour, you go off and take some more intensive courses, even overseas courses. Surely can't be long before similar schemes are operating here, with or without BMW's help. Los Angeles, California. A town where there are more cars than there are people. It also happens to be a town that's obsessed with the environment and air pollution and electric vehicles. And if you think electric vehicles are a joke, take a look at this. This is the T0, probably the first retro-styled high-performance electric car, which you can actually charge up at anywhere from your home to a motel to your workplace. And talking of electric cars, how about this? There's something very cartoon-like about this little single-seater Sparrow, and at the opposite end of the scale we've got the new Shelby Mustang muscle car. And talking of muscle cars, or should that be muscle pickups, this is the incredible Dodge Sidewinder from the Chrysler stable. How about that for an engine lid that prevents you from getting your hands dirty? Amazing interior. Those pedals say it all. Go and whoa. And this really is the car for rednecks and good old boys. Expect to see it in that next ZZ Top video. Well, this is what it's all about. This is what you call driving. Hot weather testing in South America. In fact, in the northern mountains of Argentina, to be precise. And there we were in our Jeep Wranglers giving them hell. And they stood up to the job amazingly well. It's got to be said. This is the best part of the job. Almost as good, in fact, as meeting the locals. Well, the idea was, after this 100-odd mile drive I've had through dirt and grime and water and slime, I've been bitten, I've been chased by dogs, I've seen wild animals that I didn't even know existed, I fell in a river, I lost a 90-quid pair of sunglasses. And the idea was that I was going to be here in the wilds of Argentina, northwest Argentina, stop laughing you lot, northwest Argentina, near Bolivia, somewhere near Uruguay I think. The idea was I was going to sit here, despite the fact that I've got problems with my eyes because of all the dust. I've eaten more dust today than Mr. Sheen. I've drunk more today than Oliver Reed, although it was of the non-alcoholic variety. They made me drink 8 litres of water because there really is a grave danger out there on the mountain range of dehydrating. And the idea was that I'd sit here on the bonnet of my Chrysler Jeep Wrangler, 1997 model, the vehicle that's been my Sherpa Tenzing for the day. But of course we're in this remote mountain village, the name of which I can't even pronounce. And unfortunately, there was a little reception committee waiting for us, and apparently they're all minding the car. And unless I give them, I don't know what it is, 50 pesetas each by the morning, they'll take the wheels off. So you're looking at Mike Rutherford's Minders. Believe me, if these Jeeps are good enough for these roads, they're good enough for you when you go to the supermarket on a Sunday. The great thing about these interiors in these cars is that they can be hosed down afterwards, radios and all. And please, don't try this one at home, folks. That's me getting stuck. And that's what you call eating dirt. In case you're wondering, we only did the drinking after the trek was over. And that's when we also opened a can of corned beef or two. Would you believe it? That's a Jeep PR, man. And it's the end of the road for Argentina. Well, to France now, and of course the old Citroën 2CV. And what's this? Well, it's the Citroën Berlingo fun wagon, and if you like, it's the spiritual successor to the humble Deux Chevaux. Very different animal, of course, very, very high-tech, very, very car-like. Look at that electronic sunroof, the biggest sunroof in the world, incidentally, claims Citroën. This is a car that's got a great interior. Brilliant boot space, big enough for all your duty-frees. And what about that seat fabric and the colour coordination? There's storage space aplenty. And those truck-like mirrors make for very, very comfortable, easy driving. We'll probably be seeing the Berlingo in Britain in 1998. It's not going to be cheap, but it's going to be truly, truly unique. You know when you've been Berlingoed. South Korea, officially known as the land of morning calm. But this is what we're here for. No, not quite the girls. We're here for the second Seoul Motor Show, now one of the biggest, most respected shows in the world. We've got Daewoo, our friends from Ssangyong, yet more from Ssangyong, with a little help from Britain. Kia, if they're still going. And of course, market leaders, Hyundai. Well, I don't know about the greatest show on earth, but this has to be the maddest motor show on this planet. And of course, we're at the Seoul Motor Show in South Korea. This is only the second Seoul show, but already it's on the international stage, and having visited shows like Tokyo and Detroit and Geneva and just about every other motor show in the world, I've got to tell you, this is a premier division show. Let's just go and take a look at what they got to offer. I hate this job. I mean, I just hate it. I mean, the things I have to do just to get a story. By the way, that will be the Daewoo, or to be more precise, the new Daewoo Speedster. Or should that be Boxster? Only in Korea, a car that's got everything including the kitchen sink. This is the Kia Rockstar, which looks like it has a picture of a penis painted on the door. Get this, Hyundai's city car, half the price of an A-Class. And this is Kia's curiously named KMX4. Curious because it looks nothing like the KMX4 at Tokyo. Would you believe it? This is the Hyundai Love. This is love. Now what this is, we're not quite sure. It looks like a toaster or an iron on wheels, but it's got a Kia badge, and we think the best thing for it is for the North Koreans to put a bomb underneath it. And look at this, only in Korea, the only country in the world where Buddhist monks crave fast cars. You're watching a Motor Week special. Join us after the break for more travels from around the world. Welcome back to Around the World in 130 Days with me, Mike Rutherford. Join me on the rest of my journey. This is my idea of hell on earth. We're here for the launch of the Renault Espace, and we're in, of all places, Las Vegas, Nevada. Surely the tackiest, the grubbiest town on this entire planet. Take my advice, unless you've got a serious gambling problem, don't go near the place. And I've got to say, Route 66, which takes up the road outside Vegas, ain't much better either. Apart from this scorched earth Nevada desert, there's lots of very, very boring, very, very straight roads that you have to drive at 50 miles an hour. Well, I suppose one of the advantages, you could say, is to stop at one of those famous American roadside diners and sample some typical American food. Well, I've got to say, the Renault Espace didn't impress me terribly. I've never found a people carrier yet that I liked. Good old Route 66 didn't do much for me either. You meet some funny people along the way. Some of them, I think, have been smoking too many roll-ups. And what about this for a tourist who hires a Winnebago and very, very nearly loses it in the ice and snow of the Grand Canyon? Let that be a warning to you. Well, if ever a car company's turned itself around, it's Volvo. And that incredible transformation is largely due to the high-performance versions of cars like the S40 and V40. And of course, while we were in Sweden, those crazy, crazy Swedes had us driving on two wheels. Or at least they tried. I could barely get up the ramp. Which staggers me that the steering wheel is so close to you guys. You know, all these visions of Sterling Moss, you know, driving like this.
Yeah.
How come it's gone from this to this?
It's just to get more leverage on it. Your arm's a lot stronger in that angle. You know, when it's away out there, you've got no strength in them at all. So you need to have it there. So if you get it caught, you know, you can hold it.
Right.
Okay. They just ask the questions.
Okay. Jesus Christ! Oh my God! The first thing I noticed, Colin, is you're going the wrong way for the corner. You're going in the opposite direction to the way you should be going.
If you come, straight and brake and just turn, because it's such a slippy surface, you get a bit of understeer, what we call understeer. The car will just push straight on. So you need to really break the traction in the rear.
Through the water. Oh! I think I've done my neck in. Oh, gee, this is... Oh my God, we're going to come off, surely. Oh.
Yeah, racing drivers depend on 100% grip all the time. We actually break the traction. We rely on the car braking traction on this loose surface to get it to turn in these corners.
We're never going to make it. Oh, the back end goes out there. Wow.
Get a nice slide on right
here. That is... Oh!
This is a slippy one. It's all grass through here. Cut the corner a bit here.
And you kind of slightly went off... Oh, there's a metal post. We missed it by about an inch.
This is a real slippy surface here. You just have to dab the brakes a bit before where you want to brake, just to test the grip on the road.
I can't believe he's going this speed on a road like this, on a track like this. It's midsummer, and where else but baked Alaska. Well, not quite baked, but we were getting 18 hours of daylight every single day. We were here to have some fun, but more importantly, to attend the Jeep Jamboree. We were mud plugging with a vengeance in our 1998 Grand Cherokees in Alaska. And boy, did we meet some people along the way. Hells Angels, drunks, KKK members, mountain men, and even gold prospectors. And even some armed to the teeth hunters. We found some people. Somebody who's not part of our trek. We just came across them. Victor and his lady who were just here. Victor, what are you doing out here?
We're out doing a little bit of hunting and some camping, mostly looking for some black bear. It's a prime time for them right about now.
Hang on, what happens when you find the black bear?
We plan on shooting it and then go ahead and skinning it. Turn the meat into jerky or to sausage, and you can tan the hide and have a bear hide on your floor or on your wall.
I mean, excuse my ignorance, and I've got to be careful what I say to you because you are heavily armed. But you can just shoot bear. There's no restriction on that.
You have to buy a permit. Your permit costs $40 a year.
Okay.
And it enables you to get a black bear, and then you can get moose, caribou, sheep, deer.
Okay.
And then if you want a grizzly bear, you have to pay another $25.
And what's the hardest one to get?
Definitely a grizzly.
Yeah.
That one is so big that even when you shoot with a high-powered rifle, it still can charge really fast. It can cover 100 yards in a matter of seconds.
Even with a bullet in them?
Even in a bullet. I mean, that's taking out the heart and the lungs. Your first shot on a grizzly bear is to try to bust the shoulder. Oh, no. That way it can't run and chase you down. And, you know, to do this, you're not just a keen amateur, you're a former military man yourself. Yeah, ex-military.
Right. And so if I've got to be careful what I say, like, you know, and with the greatest respect, sir, what do you pack it? Oh, gee, what is this? Hold on.
It's a 3-7 Magnum.
Hey, is this like Dirty Harry Magnum?
No,
this is
a little bit smaller. Oh. I use this one mostly for
journalists who bother you. It's
more of a defense weapon for personnel, for people. They're just, you never know who you might run into out here. So that's what I use this one for.
What, you mean crazy guys?
Exactly. I don't know if you're aware, the state troopers though, for about a month were looking for a murderer who's hiding in the woods. Okay. So I carry personal protection for me and my girlfriend Susan.
Right. Okay.
And but for bear,
oh no, this is. Can you believe this? This is for real.
I have another one I carry.
I've got a Swiss Army knife. How would that get me on around it?
That work too well.
Okay, hang on. What's this?
This is a 30-06. It became famous during World War II, the caliber. And this is just my one I carry for my bear. I mean, it's nice and light, but it still can do the job. And it's an all-purpose caliber. It's used for sheep, deer, moose, caribou. Okay. I would not try to take a grizzly bear with this though. It's too small a caliber. I'd go for like a 7mm Magnum. A lot more knockdown power. Or one of those Exocet missiles or something like that. Exactly. Okay. But look, while you're packing that away, because I know you can't. Oh dear. Ooh. I've never been this close to guns before. But tell us, Victor, about the vehicle you're on. This is a Honda quad bike, we call them. Do you call them that? It's a Honda four-wheeler. We just call them four-wheelers or ATVs, all-terrain vehicles. They're a must up here for Alaska if you plan to do any type of hunting. Before I invest in one of these, I used to walk everywhere. As you can see, I mean, there's a lot of area to cover in a short amount of time. You're not tempted by something like a Jeep Wrangler or something like that, an open-top thing? No. This will get me a lot of places that the Jeeps won't. I hear that there's a danger you can damage your wrist on these things. I was going to get one for my little boy and somebody said, hey, you've got to be careful because... It all depends on the rider. If you take caution, just like with any vehicle, whether it be a motorcycle or an automobile, there's always a risk involved with any type of... It just all depends on how you ride, how you treat the machine, and you got to know your limitations. You know, if I wouldn't try to take it up some of these mountains, it's not made for that, and it'd be more of a safety hazard to me or anybody else. And what do you think of us guys going through that? That was pretty impressive. I was telling her that's the first time I've ever seen vehicles back here, and I really didn't think you guys would make it, and you guys did a good job against that mud puddle. Well, join us again same time next week for more of my world exclusive footage from around the world. We got motor shows, we got new car launches, we got a lot else besides. See you next week.